Today we will be covering lesson 10-1, which is on the composition of transformations. As you can see, we have quite a bit to cover, and we're going to start off with question number 1, questions 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 9, 10, and example A. So that puts us at 7 sections for this lesson. Let's start off by doing our introduction section. It says, consider the series of transformations shown in the figures above. The first is a rotation about the point 4, 6, and it's clockwise 90 degrees. The second transformation is a reflection of over the y-axis, over the x-axis, so y equals 0. Together, they are called a composition of transformation, which is 2 or more transformations performed in sequence. The notation for a composition of transformation is similar to the way you express the composition of functions. The composition pictured above is described as little r, y equals 0, big R, 4, 6, negative 90 degrees. If a reflection across the x-axis were added as the third transformation of the sequence, then the notation would be little r, y equals 0, little r, y equals 0, big R, 4, 6, negative 90 degrees. Notice that the transformation that occurs first in the series is in the interior of the notation, and subsequent transformations are written outside of it. So notice that they said we would basically be starting here. This is my first transformation. Then I have another transformation. And then I have that third transformation here. Question number 1 is our first problem. And it says, write the notation for these composition of transformation. Use the points A, 0, 0, B, 1, 1, and C, 0, negative 1. A clockwise rotation of 60 degrees about the origin, followed by a translation by directed line segment AB. B, a reflection about the line x equals 1, followed by a reflection about the line x equals 2. And C, 3 translations, each of the directed line segment AC. All right, this should take you about 5 minutes to write down the composition of transformations using the notation. Go ahead and pause your video. All right, as you can see, the answers to question number 1 have now been provided. Please note that I wrote my inmost, or my firstmost, in the innermost parenthesis set. I rotated about the origin. Remember that the negative represents that clockwise motion. And I put 1, 1 here because if you notice, I drew my little triangle over here, and the distance, or the directed line segment from A to B, is x increases by 1, my y also increases by 1. B, this one was pretty simple. We did a reflection over x equals 1 and a reflection over x equals 2, but we want to do the reflection over x equals 1 first, so make sure that that's in the innermost parentheses. Lastly, translation, 3 of them, each of them by a directed line segment AC. Now, going from A to C, you go down 1 unit on your Y, but you do not move your X value at all. So notice when I did this, I did 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1. On to your debriefing question.